The Daily Bible in chronological order. New International Version. Jesus predicts return. John chapter 14 verses 25 through 31a. All this I have spoken while still with you. But the Counselor, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things, and I will remind you of everything I have said to you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. You heard me say, I am going away, and I am coming back to you. If you loved me, you would be glad that I am going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I. I have told you now before it happens, so that when it does happen, you will believe. I will not speak with you much longer, for the prince of this world is coming. He has no hold on me, but the world must learn that I love the Father, and that I do exactly what my Father has commanded me. Fulfillment of prophecy. Luke chapter 22, verses 35 through 38. Then Jesus asked them, When I sent you without purse, bag, or sandals, did you lack anything? Nothing, they answered. He said to them, But now, if you have a purse, take it, and also a bag. And if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. It is written, And he was numbered with the transgressors. And I tell you that this must be fulfilled in me. Yes, what is written about me is reaching its fulfillment. The disciple said, See, Lord, here are 2 swords. That is enough, he replied. To Mount of Olives. Matthew chapter 26, verse 30, Mark chapter 14, verse 26, Luke chapter 22, verse 39, John chapter 14, verse 31b. Come now, let us leave. When they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Warning about forsaking. Matthew chapter 26, verses 31 through 32, Mark chapter 14, verses 27 and 28. Then Jesus told them, This very night you will all fall away on account of me, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered. But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee. Peter boasts loyalty. Matthew chapter 26, verses 33 through 35. Peter replied, Even if all fall away on account of you, I never will. I tell you the truth, Jesus answered. This very night before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. But Peter declared, Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you. And all the other disciples said the same. Final discourse. John alone records the final discourse of Jesus with his chosen disciples. It has come as Jesus and his disciples continue toward the Mount of Olives, just before they cross the Kidron Valley, which forms the eastern border of Jerusalem. Each word Jesus speaks reflects the burden which he feels in leaving these men to finish the work which he has begun. Jesus encourages them in their faith and promises that in his name they will perform great works. Again, he calls them to mutual love in order to withstand the inevitable persecution which awaits them. Explaining the necessity of his going away, Jesus promises that they will not be left wholly on their own. Jesus reassures them that the Holy Spirit will be with them and will guide them in their mission. After reminding them that joy will come from the sorrow they are about to bear, Jesus offers up a prayer. In that prayer, Jesus asked first for glorification, that God himself might be glorified, then prays for the 11 disciples, and finally for all his disciples, that they might love one another and thereby be a continuing witness to the world. The final discourse begins with an allegory about the vine and its branches as a lesson in fruitfulness through Christ. Vine and branches. John chapter 15, verses 1 through 8. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. If a man remains in me, and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, he is like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples.